Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back. Another Master video, and today let's talk about Easter May and Lopunny. And this sync pair, right? It really has like most of its stuff in its base kit, right? You do have like some stuff on the grid, like ramming speed, which is nice, right? HP advantage is okay. I'm not a huge fan of HP advantage personally, but like, you know, even without the grid, you don't have to worry too much because our base kit's really good. All right, so those who aren't familiar, Easter May and Lopunny, what they do is they're a striker. However, they do a lot of support stuff before you mega, which is fantastic, right? So when you're not doing damage, you could buff your whole team, which is really nice. You could buff your whole team's speed by 2, right? Before you mega. Give yourself evasion as well, and then you could also give your team defense, which is nice. Then you also have potion, and then after you mega, your headbutt, which is basically useless, right, turns into high jump kick, which is really nice because it does a lot of damage. And then also when you mega, you get accuracy from your trainer move as well, so that you don't miss your high jump kicks and do a lot of damage to yourself, right? So yeah, in terms of stats, really good attack, great speed, right on top of giving your whole team speed, which is fantastic, which is why you could run her in a lot of scenarios with a secondary striker or whatever, which obviously greatly improves your whole team's DPS per turn. You got actually pretty good defenses for a striker and really nice HP, so relatively tanky as well for a striker, right? Obviously there's nowhere, I mean, well, it's 600 HP is really great even for some tanks. Then you got, again, potion as well, right? Move gauge boost, not too much of a useful move. Unfortunately, probably one of the more useless moves in the game. But everything else is fantastic. And you have Solo Fanfare, which buffs your attack by 6 when you sync, so you don't have to worry about that. The fun thing about Mega Lopunny is before you mega, your sync move is normal type, but after you mega, your sync move turns into fighting type, which is pretty cool because normal type sync moves are pretty much useless, right? The reason being, if you're wondering, well, why doesn't she have fighting type to begin? Because regular Lopunny is not fighting type. The sync move has to be a type that the Pokemon is a type of, right? Then you got Propelling Strike 5, 6% chance for +1 move gauge when an attack move is successful, so it's kind of like move gauge refresh, right? Which is cool. And the other great thing, the great thing about it, the sync move being normal and then changes to fighting type, is that the base power is much higher than if it was any other type, because the base power for normal type moves, they're just higher than the same grade of other type moves, just because normal doesn't have that super effective thing, but it carries on even after it transforms into fighting type, which is really nice. Anyways, going over the sync grid, first of all, like most 99% of the strikers in this game, okay, maybe not 99, 90% of the strikers in this game, in terms of lucky skill, you want Critical Strike 2. If you can't get Critical Strike 2, get Critical Strike 1. Can't get Critical Strike 1, get Power Flux 3, right? Can't get that, Power Flux 2, whatever. It's usually along those lines. So, in terms of the grid, right, 1 out of 5, as almost all the grids out there, you just pick up like basically everything. Well, you don't need the headbutt stuff, but I mean, you have the energy, so you can pick it up, right? So nothing to talk about over there. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, you actually don't have much either, honestly, right? You have the potion NPR, which is nice. You have high jump kick, move gauge refresh. You got hippity hoppity MP refresh, which is actually pretty nice, because if you get an MP refresh there, then you could buff your team speed even more, and then you could still save one more use for after you mega, so you get the accuracy, right? And then you could pick up all the high jump kick power ups as well. You could pick up this attack and speed over here. Something like this would be pretty ideal, right? Moving on to 3 out of 5, where you get most of your stuff, right? So you definitely want to pick up ramming speed, if nothing else, right? And then everything else kind of depends on what you want to go for. If you want that extra multiplier for HP advantage, you could definitely go for that. Again, I'm not a huge fan because HP advantage, it's kind of deceptive. It says 3, but it's not like 30% boost at max. It's only 15%. It's like half, right? At max. But you can go for it, I guess. And then if you just want to like in terms of max out like your damage, you could go for like something like this, right? high jump kick, move gauge refresh as well, which is something you can do. But I'm personally not a huge fan. You could also, again, go for a hippity hoppy MP refresh because speed is just such a great stat to buff, right? And then still pick up the high jump kick stuff. Maybe even come down, pick up the potion MP refresh if you want. This is if you want to play a bit more conservatively. If you don't really care about that, which again, the potion MP refresh not a big deal. It's only MP refresh 2 anyways, and it's only the 40% potion. I mean, it's nice if you really need it, but generally, you probably just want to pick up as much damage as you want. Maybe even more sync move power up those. Although again, I'm not a huge fan of you have to drop something for that. I'm not a huge fan of just going for her sync, right? I mean, it's not bad because of the extra damage boost for starting out as a normal type. But in terms of the comps you want to run her with, because no matter where you run her in, she has to be the first unit to sync, right? If you're not syncing with her first, she doesn't get high jump kick, right? And obviously can't really do much damage to headbutt. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of focusing too much on sync. I mean, again, you could go for HP advantage over here if you want, or if you don't want to bother with that, just pick up the high jump kick power ups and then use the rest for some other stuff. If you want the speed, you could pick up that, more attack, that's fine too, right? If you don't want to manage your HP, which again, you really don't have to. I mean, unless you get hit by AoE moves or sync moves, you should be fine. And plus you have a potion to heal yourself up even if you do get hit, right? So HP advantage is definitely viable to pick up, right? It just, again, depends on how you want to manage the flow of the game, right? Some stuff that I don't really care about picking up, Propeller is not a huge deal. Impatient also not a huge deal, right? Don't really worry about that. Move gauge boost MP refresh, not a huge deal either. I mean, you really don't need, you're really fast, right? And then you give your whole team speed. You don't have to worry about the move gauge boost thing. All right, moving on into some team comps. She just needs crit, right? Just any crit buffer. Berg's a decent one because Mei doesn't need any attack at all, right? And then, Berg can give you attack, special attack. It's just really slow, right? But yeah, Berg could also give you accuracy, so you could actually, triple trainer move to start. I mean, assuming you pick up and get the MP refresh, so you can max out your whole team speed, because Berg doesn't give you speed, right? And then you don't have to worry about saving any of the trainer move for once you mega for the accuracy, because Berg gives you accuracy. And then Berg also gives defenses, so you don't have to worry about, using turns for X defense either, right? So Berg plus Mei is really nice, plus they get a decent amount of theme skills as well, right? And by decent amount, I think it's only the Easter thing, right? I don't remember, but they have, or not Easter, seasonal outfit. Never mind, I take that back. They don't have that many. But yeah, Berg Togepi, that's a decent combo. Just anything that gives crit. Sabrina, Hilbert, whatever else gives crit, right? Sings with Blue if you get MP refresh. Sings with Lisa if you get MP refresh. Lyra, right? Just peers, people who give crit is generally a good fit, right? Lily B. My personal favorites for in terms of running with in terms of crit buffers for Easter Mei is probably Berg, right? Again, with the stuff that I mentioned before. Sabrina is also nice because Sabrina also gives you some accuracy as well as speed, right? Because I don't think a lot of crit buffers gives you both, right? Essentially, Lisa gives you accuracy, but not speed. Hilbert gives you speed, not accuracy. Again, if you get the MP refresh on your trainer move, then you don't need any speed buffers, right? It's just in terms of if you don't get the MP refresh, right? And also, if you don't have any accuracy buffers, you could bring something like a Hilbert to give you the extra speed, so then you could use your train move post sync, so you can give yourself the accuracy, right? As for the other slot, what you want to run, I mean, there's a lot of options, right? Wally's a decent one, right? Where you could run both of them, fighting type strikers. The slightly awkward part is both of them want a mega, right? But you definitely want a mega May 1st, or else May again does do damage, right? Wally's fine without megaing. I mean, you could do Lucario too. I think Lucario is slightly slower though, but you could also do Lucario, right? As for some other units, something like maybe like a Lycanroc, a Nanu, debuff the opponent's defenses. You could do that as well, I guess. Or if you're running something like a Hilbert, you want to play it a bit safe. You could throw out something like a better tank over there, like a Comfey or Xerneas or whatever. To tank. Although the awkward part with Xerneas is you can't really sync with Xerneas until you sync with May 1st. But then again, I mean, you don't really need the special attack anyways. It's more so like the special defense and speed, right? But yeah, some tanks over there like Skyla, whatever, right? If again you aren't running something like a Berg or Sabrina that could tank a bit better than say a Hilbert or something. But yeah, those are some of the suggestions I have. So anyways, that's me for this one. I guess hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys in the comments down below. Like this video, so I'm gonna have some more Pokemon Masters content. I'll see you guys in the next one.